Ultimate Gaming Live Season 2.
Season 2? Whatever happened to Season 1?
We don't talk about Season 1.
We don't talk about Season 1?
Don't let them know we had Season 1.
We have 3 episodes.
We don't talk about the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
They were all...
Okay.
Oh, okay. So anyway, on today's show, we thought we'd premiere Season 2 by doing all Nintendo games.
You love Nintendo.
I do love Nintendo.
I love Nintendo.
You love Nintendo. Everybody loves Nintendo.
Nintendo is amazing.
Nintendo is great. Right, Miles? You like Nintendo?
Miles?
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Real enthusiastic.
Such enthusiasm.
Ignore him. He's just a camera guy. We don't listen to him. But anyway, as you heard, first off on today's show, we're going to talk about Mario Tennis Ultra Smash for the Wii U. It's the first Mario Tennis game we've had in a few years. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I love Mario Tennis.
I love Mario.
It's a great series.
I love the GBA one.
I never played the GBA one.
You never played that one?
No, the GameCube one's the best one.
No, it's a GBA.
But after that, we've got Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon for the 3DS.
You like dungeon crawlers?
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, yeah,
I like Pokemon. You like dungeons? You like Pokemon? Yeah. We'll see. And then, of course, if you like giant robots and JRPGs, then we have a gift for you, and that is Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Gundam?
Pretty much, more or less.
More or less.
But
okay.
we'll see in that review. But why not? Let's get started with our first review for Mario Tennis Ultra Smash.
It seems like only yesterday I was playing Mario Tennis on my Nintendo 64. But that was 15 years ago. The times have changed, and so has Mario Tennis with it. That's what I would like to say. However, it simply isn't the truth. While Mario Tennis Ultra Smash has bright, vivid HD colors, that alone does not make this game worthy of being the next big Mario sports title. In fact, the game is hardly much of anything. The game lacks many features of previous Mario Tennis titles. It feels as though the developers created the main gameplay function, and then decided they were done with it. This is the most empty Mario Tennis title to date. Even the original on the N64 had a bigger roster than this game. Other than a Mega Mushroom that appears on the field every now and then, there are no other exciting components that make this worthy of being called Mario Tennis. And even then, the Mega Mushroom is highly unbalanced. Appearing randomly, it feels like it disrupts the game more than providing a fun twist or challenge. Other than that, it's pretty much your basic tennis. Nothing more. In Mario Power Tennis for the Nintendo GameCube, each character had a unique ability for hitting the ball, either smashing it 100 miles per hour or magically hitting it from the other side of the court. The special abilities added so much excitement and kept the pace lively of each match. And yet, these abilities are completely absent in Ultra Smash. Speaking of lack of progress, there's not even a tournament or campaign in Ultra Smash. There's just a singles mode for 1-on-1 or doubles mode for 2-on-2. There's no stats or records kept in the game either, so you can win countless matches, and you'll only know your most used character or number of matches played if you kept tabs in your head. Ultra Smash features one, yes I said one, minigame mode called Mega Ball Rally, where the entire point is to pass the ball back and forth between you and the other person. With a small roster of only 16 characters, one minigame mode, and no tournament, it almost feels like this should have been the original Mario Tennis and then Nintendo would progress forward from there. There is amiibo functionality, so you can train amiibo, but even that doesn't seem very satisfying as they don't exactly learn from you the way they did in Smash Bros. Other than being colorful and fun to look at, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash doesn't bring anything to the table, but rather seems to take things away. For that, we give Mario Tennis Ultra Smash a 2.5 out of 5.
So that was Mario Tennis for Wii U.
Yeah.
It's tennis.
It was tennis.
And Mario.
And a mini game.
And one tiny mini game. That's it. That's all they got.
I wish.
I waited years for a proper sequel to the GameCube title, and that's what they gave me.
They gave you one mini game and
very sad.
Rosalina.
I do like Rosalina. Who doesn't like Rosalina? Let's be real.
Let's be real.
But I mean, maybe they'll add DLC or something in the future. That might fix it.
That kind of sounds super.
Speaking of super, check out our next review for Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon for the 3DS.
Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon is the 6th Mystery Dungeon game and the second to appear on the Nintendo 3DS. Does it fare better than its predecessor Gates to Infinity? I'm happy to report the answer is a resounding yes. Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon is a fantastic game in almost every way. Right off the bat, I was concerned about the difficulty of this game. Not that it could be too difficult, but rather too easy. Previous Mystery Dungeon titles have always left me wanting a bigger challenge, which is why I was excited when early on in Super Mystery Dungeon, I found myself hanging on for survival. But Super Mystery Dungeon doesn't just drop you off in the middle of nowhere left to fend for yourself. No, the game actually begins with a personality test. This test can determine which one of possibly 20 Pokemon you'll become. Oh, did we mention this game doesn't involve a trainer, but rather a human turned Pokemon? Yeah, that's kind of Mystery Dungeon's thing. If you're unhappy with the choice, you can easily overwrite it. For my test, I was given Chikorita with Lucario as my partner. You start off realizing you're a Pokemon and are attacked by a nasty group of Beam. However, a Nuzleaf comes to your rescue, showing you the ropes and guides you into a near town. Once in town, you'll make friends with some townsfolk, town's Pokemon, find your partner, and begin your quest of conquering dungeons. This is where the story of Mystery Dungeon picks up as you adventure onward. I won't go into too many details here, but my favorite thing about Mystery Dungeon series is that it allows each Pokemon a spotlight, with a true voice and personality that shines. There's a good mix of Pokemon from each generation as well, giving fans with experience from any era of Pokemon a chance to enjoy the fun. That reminds me, all 720 Pokemon are available in this game. Yep, every single one. Of course, story dungeons can only be accessed with specific Pokemon. However, free play and other dungeons allow players to use whichever Pokemon they can get their hands on. Recruiting through quests, such as finding a missing item, fighting a troublemaker, or even just visiting their secret dungeon base for a short visit, and social interactions, is way more fun than random recruitment found in previous Pokemon Mystery Dungeon titles. But don't get too excited too quickly. You won't find all 720 Pokemon right away. After all, this is a Pokemon game. You start with nothing and have to go hunting for them. With such a large roster, this can become a little tedious and slow at times, but it's nothing major that prevents a player from having fun. The combat for Super Mystery Dungeon is reminiscent of the standard Pokemon titles. A button is held, which then reveals 4 different moves that can be done. Moves can also be combined with other Pokemon attacks to form an alliance, which allows enemies to be hit with multiple moves at once. Item management is also very important in this game, as there are lots of items to quickly fill up your inventory, when you only have a very limited space. There's also lots of concerns such as status ailments, not including a hunger meter, which depletes as you move throughout dungeons. Pokemon will also slowly heal while moving around, but you better pack some items just to be safe. If the player fails a dungeon, all the items and money currently being held vanish, unless the player decides to wait on someone to do a rescue mission. These can be arranged on Pelipper Island, where the player can request help from other players. But if you haven't made much progress, an easy cheat would be to just return to your old save file and try again. Don't worry, I'll look away while you cheat. Cheater. At the end of the day, Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon is perhaps the greatest Mystery Dungeon title to date. With its beautiful graphics, largest roster possible, and tons of fun and exciting dungeons to explore and Pokemon to befriend, this game is a must for the 2015 holiday season. With that, we give Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon a 4.5 out of 5.
Jesse?
Hold on, I'm trying to recruit this Magikarp here.
Why do I even bother? What? Do you have a game that you want to see Ultimate Gaming review, or an idea for the show? Then email us at ultimategamingx@gmail.com. Also, be sure to check out our logo contest. Email that to ultimategamingx@gmail.com as well, and the winner could receive a $50 Amazon gift card. Thanks so much for watching.
So I guess I'm filling in for Jesse. He's a little busy right now.
Dang it, Pikachu, get back here.
I see. You look a little busy yourself. What game has you all caught up right now?
A game like no other, with giant robots, action, and adventure.
Gundam?
No, Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Xenoblade Chronicles X. Here's our review.
I could sit here all day and talk about Xenoblade Chronicles X, but for the sake of time, I'll keep this review short. There's so much to say about this title. It's perhaps the largest game ever created for the Wii U. With roughly 50 hours of gameplay to offer, you'll definitely get your money's worth. Xenoblade Chronicles X is perhaps the longest awaited Wii U title of 2015. Thankfully, the wait was worth it. Xenoblade Chronicles X begins in the year 2054 AD, after Earth has been attacked by an unknown alien race, effectively wiping out humanity. Only one escape ship called White Whale survives the onslaught and eventually crash lands on a planet called Mira. Obviously, the humans need to set up camp and do what they can to survive. This is the gist of what's going on. Part of what makes Chronicles X so great is that the story is not related to the first Xenoblade in any way. So if you missed out on the first title, you won't be left out or dumbfounded as you play this. The story for Chronicles X doesn't really do much branching out of any kind. Rather, the player can choose to be several characters, including your own original avatar. If you love exploration, then this game will become your new home. Chronicles X features 5 very large maps to discover and conquer, and contains loads of secrets. As you explore and discover, you'll learn more about the planet you've landed on, its inhabitants, its history, and about the dangerous aliens who tried to wipe you out. While the graphics themselves aren't anything especially nice, the game still has a very nice aesthetic and draws you in with its gorgeous environments. I also appreciated the large, vast draw distance that this game has, especially for being a Wii U title. If you're one of those gamers who can't stand long tutorials and lots of hand-holding, then you're in even more luck. Once you make your avatar and complete a rather brief tutorial, you're on your own, completely. This game is not something that's necessarily for everyone, and I'm not trying to say that to speak badly about it. If you enjoy the JRPG genre in general, and are looking for some games that you can invest lots of time into. If you enjoy the JRPG genre in general, and are looking for a game you can invest lots of time into and immerse yourself, then Xenoblade Chronicles X is a fantastic choice. One thing about the game is that it can be very unforgiving at times. While you can save anywhere you'd like, fast travel, and have access to a nice world map on the Wii U gamepad, pretty much every other aspect of this game is downright hellish when it comes to difficulty. Combat presents you with a mix between ranged and melee attacks that you'll have to learn to balance just right. It has a very MMO feel to it, with hotbars and cooldown times on abilities. Timing can be essential for survival. But don't be too scared, as the gamepad makes controlling all this chaos much easier. If you don't want to use the gamepad, feel free to pick up a Pro Controller as well. Of course, at this point, you're probably asking yourself, where are all the giant mechs that I can play as? Well, you won't get to touch a mech for a good 25 hours into the game. Like I said, you have to be committed, and the commitment is worth it. There is an online component of the game, featuring multiplayer as well as using others in your party, which works well. However, we didn't get to test it out very much. Don't worry, the game works just fine if you play offline the entire time. Xenoblade Chronicles X is perhaps the best JRPG the Wii U has to offer, and might even be the Wii U's Game of the Year in some people's opinion. However, I'll leave that up to you. Personally, I loved playing this title, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. All 50 hours. Ultima Gaming gives Xenoblade Chronicles X a 5 out of 5.
So that concludes our show for the first episode of Season 2. I want to thank all you guys for watching so much. What, Jesse, what are you doing now?
Man, I'm trying to recruit Pikachu still.
Man, you've been at that for an hour. I don't understand. Miles, why did you throw a broom? What are you doing? I don't understand. We're trying to film Ultimate Gaming, the intro, the outro. What is...